Yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Digest, the last for the week. And it's my pleasure, a very great pleasure, somebody I'm absolutely proud of. I'm proud of her as a person, and I'm proud of the Department of Domestic Violence in Lagos State. Mrs. Titilola Vivour. Did I get that? Vivour-Adeniyi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But there's a Rhodes Vivour. Are you related to them?
I'm new Rhodes Vivour, yes.
So why didn't you put Rhodes Vivour-Adeniyi?
It's too long.
It's too long. If you want to fill a form. But then why did you have to add Vivour at all?
Sir, please.
Please, let me listen. Mr. Adeniyi, we don't want to upset him this early
Please.
morning.
Thank you so much.
Right. I was saying to you this morning, I'm quite proud of what your department is doing, both in the cases you've handled that even I know of, and that the many cases I've referred to the department, but also the fact that you exist has put, like Wemiwa said, has put a lot of abusers in check, knowing that your department is there. I remember one or two cases with a bit of sadness in my heart as I'm speaking right now, that you've been able to resolve. Sadness is sadness of joy. You know that, I'm remembering somebody, for example, who probably would have been killed by now if it wasn't for your department. Yes, you evacuated her, you rescued her, and today she's alive and well. And so I can never stop thanking you for that. I don't want to say this. I wish I'll say it. I wish other departments in Lagos State works like you. Yes, when we want to look at me. Because government is supposed to give people some confidence, build confidence in them. And that is what your department has done. So I think I've embarrassed you enough, because I'm sure you won't like all this. But for a country and an environment that hasn't seen government impact their lives directly, I think I need to give you kudos. And if there was an audience, I'd be asking for a round of applause, but there's no audience, so we'll just take it like that. So how are you?
I'm very well, sir. How
Yes.
are you, sir?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Nobody is harassing me. At least well, no, somebody is harassing me, but I think I can still handle it.
Okay.
For the record, let's start something now. Please get out your pen and paper and take down this number, okay? If you have any problem, domestic violence, any problem. Now, this isn't just for man to woman. For example, if you're a woman, your husband beats you or he molests you verbally, sometimes the verbal one can hit the under. You know what you call that under? There's something inside you just under. Once it goes below the belly, so verbal is just as bad as physical. I'll give you this number to call. The same applies to men who are also being harassed by their wives, either most likely mentally, but sometimes physically. The number to call is
08,000.
This voice is too soft. So you call it, I'll repeat like they do in some mosques where they haven't bought microphone.
08,000.
08,000.
33.
Àwọn Yawani can suffer you. 08,000.
333.
333.
333.
323.
No, 333.
333.
Yes.
Okay.
08,000 333
333. 333.
And it's toll free.
I hope you will note that. I can't get any sound there. Okay. All right. So it's just that one number.
That's our toll free line.
It's a toll-free line.
Yes.
I think, God forbid, at the time of danger, you're not bothered whether it's toll-free or not. So can you give us like two other lines? Yes.
So we have 0906
09060
288
288
7843.
7843.
Yes.
Very good. I hope you've written down this number. Nobody should please take. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tweet the numbers after. Okay, I'll tweet the numbers after.
Thank you, sir.
Because I want to imagine the number of lives we can save. You have said, just give me a general overview of what it's been like. You've been in existence now for about 8 years?
Yes,
about
since 2014.
2000. Who established that department?
That was under the Fashola administration.
Fashola administration. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Sorry, it's my star boy. I mean, hey. But it's still, it's still
Yes.
on.
Every administration has added to
Has
it.
added to it.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to be politically wise to acknowledge that. What has this new government added to it?
Oh, well.
This one we want to talk about.
Yes, exactly.
So what's this one we want to talk about?
During COVID, we witnessed about 35% increase in reporting of domestic violence and sexual violence cases. During the peak period of complete lockdown, we were receiving on average 16 new cases daily.
16?
Yes, via our hotline. And at that time, our hotline wasn't 24 hours, it wasn't toll-free. And we know that a good number of our clients are indigent. So the fact that they're unable to call, not because they don't want to call, but because they do not have resources to call, was a big issue for us. And so at that point, it became very, very clear that we had to have a toll-free line. And that line had to be operational 24/7. Yes. And so, yes, this administration were able to secure the toll-free line. And then shortly after, we partnered with the European Union funded Spotlight Initiative to now have a virtual gender-based violence system.
What is that?
So we have it's like a call center.
Okay.
But it's not just a call center in the sense that when people call and you report a case of domestic violence, for instance, immediately you're referred to the agency that will assist you, and then you have professionals that would call you, i.e. a psychologist, for instance.
That at that time, let's assume it's 2 a.m. in the night.
Yes.
To calm you down.
To calm you down.
Oh,
especially
isn't that nice?
if the person discloses that they are having some tendencies, maybe suicidal tendencies, or they're having some mental health issues.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I just wanted to clear that point. So if you feel, it's not as if there's domestic violence, but you just feel some discomfort,
Yes.
some psychological whatever it is,
Yes.
you can call this toll-free number.
Yeah, as far as it's related to domestic violence.
Oh, as far as it's related to
Yes.
domestic violence.
But if it's not, we have a mental wellness line that is also run by the
Really?
government. Yes, so the officer should be able to refer you.
When was this? I didn't hear of this.
That was this year, I think.
So it's this new government that
Yes,
did that. Oh,
yes,
yes. We need to do that sometimes so that we can be politically correct. This is Nigeria. But that's nice to know, though. So if, for example, your husband has beaten you round one, he has gone to Mama Chinedu to go and have one Isiewu and a brown bottle, and you feel agonized, you can call this number.
Can call. And then in instances where they need to be rescued, we leverage on
with the
police to assist us in immediate rescue of the survivors.
I've heard that one happen. Well, not too recent, but like I said, it saved the life. That I'm glad he's still alive today. And when you think of these things, you have a big pit in your stomach at the number of people who would have died or be permanently maimed or completely damaged due to all this. What is the punishment for anybody who inflicts this kind of affliction, so to speak, for want of a better word, on either his spouse or whatever?
So it ranges. It varies from. It depends on the severity of the physical abuse that is inflicted
and the damage done.
So we can have 7 years
in prison.
Yes,
without adoption or fine.
Yeah, no, these are criminal allegations. So no.
Okay.
And then if it's assault occasioning grievous harm, that's up to 14 years.
Now, does it? Just to be sure, it doesn't necessarily have to be husband and wife.
Exactly.
Could it be mother and child?
Yes. So in Lagos, we actually have a domestic violence law since 2007, and that law defines certain relationships that people that are in those relationships can benefit or can have access to the services provided for in the law. So you have the people traditionally married under customary law.
Yes.
We have people married under the Act. Maybe they have
registry and stuff like that. Yeah.
They have people that are just cohabiting. Because we have a lot of that in Lagos. People see each other.
Who don't want to,
just cohabiting 10 years, 20 years, no sort of formal union. we won't say that because they are not married legally, they can't have access to protection.
Let me ask what would appear like a silly question. A silly question. But in reality, it will put a lot of things in perspective. What are the rights of a man over his wife? Now, let me clear that before the activities there she goes, her ears are up. Reason why I'm saying is I want you to explain to our people, especially at the lower rung, who believe that, now my wife, she's my wife, I can do whatever I like with her, and who might be listening, for them to understand that your wife is first, I think she's your companion. She's not, even if she's your servant or whatever, it doesn't mean you can thump her and do with her as you please.
Exactly.
So I'd like you to clear that area.
So I think we need to look at the concept of marriage. It's a partnership, right? It's not, and maybe that's why some people have had issues with the concept of dowry, payment of dowry, because you feel that once you pay, you own the person.
If I'm going to be paying, there was a time once I remember the father of the bride said he also wanted a Rolex.
Oh, wow.
If I give you a Rolex,
I owe you.
Lock, stock, and barrel, let me get them.
No, I think people are moving away from that.
From that,
yes.
yes.
People are saying, no, my daughter is not for sale.
She's not for sale.
No, I'm handing her over to you, believing that you will take good care of her. So I think it's about partnership, and what you would not want to be done to you, you should not do to your spouse. And so there's the issue of how do you talk to your spouse? How do you how do you negotiate? The issue of sexual relationships.
Does a woman have a right of refusal to advances from her husband?
Okay, so your right of refusal.
Yeah, if she says, for example, look, I'm tired. I can't get this done
so
today.
I think it's about communication. How do you
if the man, we can't run away from these things, Mrs.
Yes.
Vivour.
Yeah.
We can't run away from these things where men believe that
it's their right.
It's their right. Come on now.
They have blanket consent.
They have blanket consent. You don't even need to ask for any consent. Once you tap, say, yeah.
Open up. So yes, we appreciate that, but it's unfortunate that in our laws we don't have marital rape.
Maybe we should have it.
We don't have marital
so
rape.
you don't believe that? What if a man has carnal lodged of his wife without her consent?
It is. It's because
so it won't. Can't it come under the simple laws of rape?
No, because in Lagos our law is very clear. Section 2. Sorry, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah, a lawyer.
So I need to quote. I need to quote the section. So 260 sub 3, I believe, says sexual intercourse between a man and woman who are married shall not be unlawful. So for it to be rape, it must be unlawful sexual intercourse. So
for the man now, it's go on song. It's at his will.
But
yes,
there's another section 261,
yes,
which is sexual assault by penetration. Now that section is not a respecter of relationships. So a wife can actually say her husband sexually assaulted her by penetration. Yes. And it's really semantics because he carries the same punishment. Both are life imprisonment.
Is it life?
Yes.
Adi? Are you serious?
Life imprisonment. We're not joking in Lagos.
So in this other case I'm thinking of, there's no sexual. I don't want you to talk about that case because it hasn't even gotten to the courts yet. You know the one I'm talking about, the child molestation one that's making the rounds. Okay, now let me clear something. Somebody brought something up that under our laws, if a man has sexual relationship with a woman who is married, now the woman is married, so he can go do sideshow with another man. That if that woman gets pregnant through that process, the man that biologically owns the child cannot claim it.
I'm not aware of that law. I think that we'll just use science to show us to determine who the father is.
What I was told is that any child born between a man and woman, any child born when a woman is married belongs to that marriage, irrespective of who planted the seed.
No, I'm not aware of that.
Where did I get this from? I shouldn't be hanging around some of these guys who drink so much beer.
I'm not aware of that.
Once you are not a lawyer, people take advantage of you. But they said, who was it that told me? And in what case? It says that if a married woman goes astray and has a relationship with another man, the guy who planted the seed cannot come back and say he wants to claim that child, that the child belongs to the marriage. Okay, can he claim that child?
If they go for DNA
and it turns out to be his,
yes, why not?
He can claim it.
Is his son or his daughter?
Or daughter. Or twins.
Or twins. Or triplets.
Okay, it's the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. I have Mrs. Vivour-Adeniyi here from the sexual...
Lagos State
domestic and
sexual
sexual violence. Now, can a third party report the case of a woman who is always being abused?
Yes, definitely.
A third party can do that.
In fact, we have a lot of reporting. We refer to them as mandated reporters. So these are people who see something, say something, and do something. Yes. So people reach out to us via Twitter, Instagram. Some people call. Some people even come to the office
to tell you that so and so. Oh.
Exactly. And then when they expect you to respond, and then if you're now being slow, they put pressure on you, which is amazing. It means that we're all seeing ourselves.
Oh yeah, we all have to. We can't keep having these things. But part of the problem I see is that we don't put a premium on mental health. I believe that most of the people involved in these issues, probably have mental health issues. Am I allowed, for example, if I notice that Ibila said this is my neighbor in head not correct, am I allowed to how do I take care of that? Am I allowed to either report him? I can't take him to hospital. He won't go with me anyway.
Go with you.
Because I think it starts from there. That's where the problem. There's a man who has a mental problem might not necessarily know that in head not correct. He might feel it's just cool. But aside from calling his family, in which case these days sometimes you won't even know the family. In a situation now in life where people don't know their names, they don't know schools attended, they don't know anything. You have loads of that. The man just shows up in a neighborhood. And so you won't even know which family to report to. But he could become a nuisance. And you don't want him to become a nuisance. What do you do?
So I'm thinking, off top of my head, I'm thinking that you could actually call this mental wellness line.
Is it different from yours?
It's different from
Do you know the mental wellness line?
Yeah, I would get it.
Yes, okay. Get your paper and biro ready so we can give you the mental wellness line. Now, from what I heard from Mrs. Adeniyi, both the mental wellness line is both for, you can use it to call in case of third parties, or if you are not feeling well yourself. Yes. If you are feeling, it's treatment free.
It is free.
Really?
And then referrals are made to if they need to be if it has to be escalated, they can refer the person to a psychiatrist.
But who picks up the bill at that point?
It's to my understanding, it's free.
You see, because
or it's subsidized.
It's subsidized because part of the problem is private mental care is very, very expensive, and that's what makes a lot of people run away from. For example, I'm not saying it because you're here, but I seem to have now a bit more confidence in government hospitals than a lot of these what I might call quasi private clinics that you do have. A private clinic is going to do a fibroid operation, doesn't have a blood bank. You know the case I'm referring to. I mean, that's completely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Who does that? Like Pastor Etua would say, what is it, supervisor? Your finger has gone up again. I have to pay this bill, Mrs. Vivour. You see, I'm being harassed by Zena, Madam. I'm being harassed by her. I'd like you to take her, go and lock her up somewhere. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll open up our lines. We want a lot of people to ask questions. So what we would probably do is we'll just come on 1 minute, ask your question, and then get off the line so we can get this over and done with. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
You know that feeling when you keep downloading and streaming interesting videos, but your
for an hour. We'll take your problems, take your observations, so we can all have a better run society. Thank you very much for allowing that. And you will also thank me also for being a good citizen.
Thank you.
I'm a supporter. People think that, but we are not. We just want things done properly. So when they're done properly, we acknowledge them. Right. So I'm going to open up our lines. If you have questions, don't waste too much time. Don't say I want to respond to. In doing that, you've wasted 5 seconds. Just go give your name, and if you want to remain anonymous, so be it. But I might have to give you a name. No, it's a name, not pseudonym. What's a pseudonym? A name is a name. Oh yeah, let's go. First caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Mrs. Adeniyi, can you hear?
Yes, I can.
My name is... Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy. This is Tunji from Ikoyi.
Morning, Mr. Tunji. How are you doing?
Well done, sir. Good job, sir.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate you.
Thank
Madam, good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir.
Well, God bless you for your effort.
Put off your radio, please.
Okay, it's done, sir.
It's done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go on.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I want to ask Madam, I need your favor. My wife used to threaten me a lot. And I've been
Really?
here for the past 13 years.
Wow.
And it makes me to be a hungry person, aggressive. Please,
Wow.
how can you help me to take this thing out away of my life? I have a lot of things to say, but like Uncle Jimmy said, there's no more.
No, don't go off the line. We might want to ask you some, because yours is a case. So don't go off the line. You want to tell him quickly. How does she molest? How does she molest you, sir?
He said
Uncle
she...
Jimmy,
Verbally.
Yeah, verbally, physical, and weapon. I can show you. I have evidence here. I can prove it to
He
you.
beat you?
He slapped me once, and I beat her in coma. I can tell you that. He slapped me. He slapped me.
Yes.
I leave her alone. That day, I leave her.
He slapped you
After
again?
He now said, if I slap you again, what do we do? Can you hear that?
I know that.
If I slap
Okay.
her, she
Okay.
will make me to beat her.
Okay, so what does he do?
Thank you so much for calling. The truth of the matter is that domestic violence does not stop unless it's checked.
I felt so bad, so I don't know how I'm going
Okay,
to come
just
out from this.
Okay, thank you. We'll just listen to us.
Yes.
Thank you. Mhm.
I think the first thing is to report. So reporting...
Where does he report?
He can report to Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team. We're
Okay.
located inside the Secretariat.
Yes.
Alausa Ikeja, opposite the Ministry of Justice. So you come in, we counsel you. We don't tell you what to do. Give you the options, and we help you take a decision. But in this kind of case, we need to deploy counseling. We need to
both parties.
Yes, we need to also hear from her.
Now, sometimes people call your bluff. You invite them and they don't come.
We escalate immediately to
You
the
get them
police.
arrested.
Yes, or we go to court. Or
I hope a lot of people are listening there, because I know some people just call your bluff, or so you can escalate. You have the right to arrest.
Yes.
Okay, what about in a situation where, for example, this happens more with the men than the women? The man just wants to be responsible. He's left the woman. He's not dropping a dime for school fees or anything. Can you help in that manner?
Of course.
I've sent so many people to you, but they never. But you see, what you find is the women always then have an excuse. They want to shield them.
Exactly. Or they don't want us to escalate.
Yes.
So at that point in time, we tell them that this case has come to us. It's people like you that would come and say, you reported, government did not do anything. So we tell them, okay, we appreciate that you may not want to go to the police station, because, there's that phobia, So we say, okay, let's deploy family social services. Family social services, they are located.
You have those departments?
Oh, there are over 15 in the local governments under the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. So they are there. They have trained social workers to assess the situation, conduct investigation and inquiries, and then come up with a plan. If the perpetrator, the alleged abuser, now refuses to present himself or herself at that social services office, then the case is escalated to the family magistrate court.
So he can be locked up without bail. You can see, because his own case is the case that I call, when you watch this comedy case, you go kill me today. When some women just want to be beaten up.
No woman wants to be beaten.
No, I believe so. Because so they will be fighting, you will separate it. The woman will run back again. Oh, my family, you're going to beat me, you're going to kill me today.
I'm not giving excuses for the woman that
Yes.
does that, but there's something that must have happened before.
But-
and it's
but
also
even-
possible that, sorry sir, it's also possible that he had been beating her. So she has become accustomed to that.
No, in some cases, what they want you to do, this is the way we look at it. What they want you to do is that when beating comes into it now, everybody forgets
What
Otilu
has
now.
happened exactly.
If you catch a man in your bedroom with your wife, it's best not to beat them. Because if you beat the wife, she'll have all the marks, blood stripping and everything. Buddy, what is all this? Over money, you want to kill her? And then everybody forgets the man you saw in your territory. So this gentleman can contact you.
Please let him
Sorry.
please let him visit us, or he can call us. But we would
Yes.
appreciate it if he makes himself available. And so we
Okay.
listen to him, we give him the options available to him.
Yes.
He may say he wants a separation. He may say he's still interested in the relationship, but he wants both of them to be counseled. There are different options.
Do you play any role in divorce?
We refer. We have legal practitioners that we work
Yes.
with. So if the survivor is indigent, cannot afford the services of a lawyer, we refer to such.
But can you break up if it becomes impossible? Can you break up a couple?
No, we don't.
By law, you can't do that.
No.
If they want to kill themselves, so be it.
No. At that point in time, the person needs legal advice. Sir, some people don't even know what they are entitled to. Especially if they are married and if they are just cohabiting.
Yes.
They don't know that they are entitled to different services, or they can access several reliefs. So at that point in time, they need counsel. They need legal
How many
advice.
days do you have to live with a woman before she's protected by cohabiting laws? If it's just once overnight,
The DV
or
law
if
is
it's
not-
just a weekend visitor?
It said as far as you are cohabiting, you are in a domestic relationship. You can have succor.
What
under
is
the
a
law.
domestic relationship? You're having a relationship with your domestic servant or what?
Yes, domestic servant.
Yeah,
is included.
does it make it a domestic relationship?
You are cohabiting. You are in the same building.
Building.
You live together, not tenant and tenant.
Yes.
You are in a domestic. You are in a cohabiting relationship. That's what the law provides.
Wow. Does the law protect the child
Yes. Oh,
from violent parents?
it does.
Talk a bit about that.
So we have the Child Rights Law of Lagos State. That
Yes.
it basically encapsulates all the rights, responsibilities of children. And then there are instances where children are in need of alternative care. So that is a case where the child is being abused by their parent. The law actually, I think Section 34 of the Child Rights Law empowers the state government to obtain a protection order, to take the child into protective custody, take the child away from the parents, ensure that the child is safe, and then, because we don't want to institutionalize our children, we try to reunite them with another trusted adult. So some parents say to us, it's my child, I gave birth to him,
Yes,
I will beat him, that's how I was raised. And we're like, no. If you're abusing the child, government will not just sit down and watch you do it. A child is under the state.
More so in some cases where some people say that their children are witches. Well, let's take a call. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Uncle Jimmy, this is Nkiru.
Ikuru the farmer.
Yes, Nkiru the farmer.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. I had a case. Good morning, Mrs. Adeniyi.
Good morning, ma.
I had a case of a domestic violence issue. And I even came personally and saw Mrs. Adeniyi on it, and the lady also came. They helped her. They put her even in a safe home. I didn't even know Lagos State had safe homes. They kept she and her children in a safe home. But the thing is that sometimes the cases take too long. And the case was so long, and the woman had to leave because she was resident in the UK. So she had to abandon the case and go back to the UK and see how she can get succor from there and all that. So my own issue is not the stepping. I really know the stepping, they do a lot of work, but it takes a lot of time. And so the people are in kind of a limbo, and they're waiting like infinitum, especially for a woman that has no money and has no job. So she's just in the safe house and has no. So that's only my issue. If there's a way that domestic violence cases and when it
can be sped up,
can be sped up, because the children and the woman or the man, if it's the other case, are in limbo for a long time, and nobody likes them hanging, and that's actually what makes them sometimes they go back to the situation and say at least there's a home, their children can go to school, because the children couldn't go to school while they were in the safe home.
So you have safe homes in the state?
Yes, there are. For survivors of domestic violence.
So my rent is due. I don't have money to pay. Let me come to the safe home. Do you have them all over the local government?
No, not all. We
but you just have a safe home.
You
can. So if you do have anybody that's involved in domestic violence, you can take them in, keep them in the safe home for a short while. Do you feed them?
Yes, they are fed. They are
3 times a day?
Yes.
Mrs. Adeniyi, I want to go to a safe home. I want to go into a safe home. Supervisor has been harassing me. Let me come from a safe home to do this program and go back.
Uncle Jimmy, I'll sue you for that.
Sue me, but take me to the safe home first.
I recall this case. I think the difficulty with this case was the fact that sometimes
I must have referred her to you. I think I did.
Oh, okay. I think the issue was custody. She wanted custody of the children, and custody is a legal issue.
It's a legal issue, yes,
and all of that. And I agree that does take time.
It takes time. All right. Look at the lines are buzzing. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Okay, my name is Abraham. I'm calling from the road.
From the road?
Yes. I'm happy listening to what Miss Adeniyi has to say.
Mrs.
Adeniyi.
Just so I can get that right, yes.
Yeah, but I want to come from this angle. Does she get pressure from people preventing, not victims now, shielding perpetrators?
Oh, yeah, there'll be a lot of that.
From the police end and from powers that be.
Yeah, even political pressure. Do you get that?
So, the office is actually, the chairman of DSVRT is the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice.
Mr.
Mearsures.
How is he?
He's very well. He's very well. So that makes our lives easy. I mean, everything we do, we ensure that he's involved. And then if we have such...
Why did you have to mention, because he's somebody who would not interfere?
No,
he would not allow interference.
He would not. He stands for truth and he stands for justice.
Yeah,
and so
I can say that for him.
Yeah, so any time we have such political pressures, we just escalate to him and then he helps us at that level. Do
you get political pressure from party chairman, blah, blah, blah? You don't get that?
We haven't experienced
They haven't experienced
It's the opposite, actually. We have people that are calling saying, "Oh, this case was reported to you. What are you doing about it?"
Oh, really?
So,
really?
I guess we've been very lucky.
Has this affected your law career, by the way? I'm